Jeff Hendricks is in the box, and we're just about set to go tonight. Hit .333 with the Thunder this year in 33 games. Leadoff man, left-handed batter against the right-hander Keller. His first pitch of the night on the way, and it's taken for a called strike, and we're underway tonight at 6:05 p.m. 70 degrees here in Altoona, Pennsylvania. A couple of clouds overhead, but mostly a perfect night. The 0-1 fires in a strike. Outside corner, it's 0-2. Keller awfully efficient that last time out. Complete game on 90 pitches. He's gotten ahead 0-2 here on Hendricks. The kick and the 0-2 pitch. Called strike 3. Hendricks watches 3 pitches go by, and he's down on strikes to start tonight's game. Keller, a strikeout master. The fastball will run up the upper side of the 90s. Keller will also use a changeup around 88 to 91, and a curveball in the low 80s. First pitch to Tyro Estrada, taken for a strike. 4 pitches and 4 strikes tossed in by Keller to start the night. Estrada, one of the best hitters for the Thunder this year. Here's the 0-1. Swinging a grounder chop to first, picked up by Suter. Takes it to the base himself for out number 2. 5 pitches and 2 outs for Keller to start the first inning. Crowd amped up here at Altoona. A lot of excitement around this game. These fans know what's riding on this one tonight. 2 outs, bases empty, and Billy Fleming is the batter coming up for Trenton. Keller, the slow windup and the pitch, swinging a pop foul out of play. It's 0-1. All strikes here in the first inning from Mitch Keller so far. Drafted by the Pirates in the second round back in 2014. Their number 2 overall prospect. One of the top prospects in the game of baseball. The pitch. Fastball strike. It's 0-2. Keller is dealing so far in this first inning. He's ahead of Fleming. No balls and 2 strikes, 2 outs, and the base is empty. Here's the windup and the 0-2 coming home. Swing and a miss, and he struck him out.
Will Carter, a 3-1 record during the regular season, a 3.26 ERA, got into 15 games, and 6 of them were starts.
First pitch taken for a strike by Mitchell Tolman. Got his 0-1.
He started a lot more near the end of the season for the Thunder. They're coming out of the bullpen earlier on.
The 0-1 pitch taken for a strike, went off speed.
He pitched very well in an outing against Binghamton in the playoffs in the divisional series, picking up the victory.
Got an 0-2 count on Mitchell Tolman. Winds up and delivers the pitch to the left-handed batter. Tolman takes outside and low. Catcher Francisco Diaz came up ready to throw it around the horn. Count goes to a ball and 2 strikes.
In that start against Binghamton, Carter worked 6 1/3 innings, allowed just 3 hits and fanned 5.
Here's the 1-2. Tolman lines it to left center. Crawford sprinting over, and he will dive forward and make the catch. Oh, what a catch by Rashad Crawford.
Batting second, shortstop.
And there's out number 1. A diving catch in the gap by Crawford. Out number 1 recorded, and Tolman has a hit taken away. Here comes Pablo Reyes. Pablo stands in, 1 out, base is empty. Wind up and the first pitch coming home. Taken for a ball up and outside for ball 1. Pablo Reyes, a big part of the Curves regular season at .274, 115 games with 10 homers, 51 RBIs. He has 1 homer in the playoffs. 1-0 pitch. Swings and grounds it to third. Diving stop by Avellino. Back to his feet. He throws to first and gets the out. And a couple of really nice plays by the Thunder defense to get the first 2 outs here in the first inning.
Designated hitter, number 29, Kevin Kramer.
Defense on display for Trenton here tonight. Kevin Kramer is up next. Kramer bats with 2 outs and the base is empty. He's hitting .111 for the playoffs, 1 for 9. Has worked 3 walks, has a sac fly and 2 total RBIs. He had an RBI in yesterday's game with a bases loaded walk. Kick and the pitch coming. Kramer swings and lifts it down the left field line. Zahner sprinting toward foul territory, and he'll make the catch right at the line to end the inning. One inning in the books here tonight. Each side with a 1-2-3 frame toss. We go to the top of the second. Dante Bichette Jr., Nick Solak, and Abiatal Avelino coming up with the Thunder. Game 3 of the 2017 Eastern League Championship Series. The Curve lead this series 2-0. Bichette coming up first for Trenton. 262 hitter in the regular season, 4 homers, and he drove in 33 runs. Sitting 261 in the playoffs with 1 homer for Trenton. First pitch. Swings and pops it foul back to the stands, the upper deck. It's 0-1. Good crowd here tonight. The Diamond Club completely full downstairs, the lower level of this ballpark. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Up and in. Almost hit him. A high fastball makes it a ball and a strike. Bichette danced back out of the box, dropped the bat. That's the first ball of the game from Keller, who got through the first inning on just 8 pitches. Got a ball and a strike on Bichette. Wind up and the pitch. Line drive hit well back to left. Sends George sprinting back towards the fence. He turns his back and it hits off the wall on 1 hop. Plays the bounce, and Bichette strolling into second base with a leadoff double for the Thunder. Squared that one up pretty well. And Trenton has the first hit of tonight's game. Runner in scoring position for Nick Solak.
Second baseman, number 61, Nick Solak. Tonight's McDonald's strikeout guy.
Solak, 286 hitter in the regular season over his 30 games with the Thunder. Spent most of the year at High Tampa. Stands in with a runner at second and nobody out. The Thunder have struggled with runners in scoring position in this series. The Curve have bared down to strand base runners. Scoreless game, top of the second inning. Here's the set from Keller and the pitch. And it's up and in, and it fouls off his bat. No, they're going to put him on first. The pitch came up and in, and it supposedly hit him. According to Randy Rosenberg, the first base umpire, a lot of pain in the hand for Solak, it looks like. And Mitch Keller is coming in to question that, and now Jinda Jung will come in and step in front of him and take over the conversation, walk with his pitcher out to the mound. The fastball came up and in and hit Solak on the hand, it looks like. The trainer for the Thunder is coming out to take a look at him as Jimmy Downham comes out and chats with the Trenton second baseman.
And Curve fans have seen that too much this year from their own team, taking some hit-by pitches and really missing a lot of games due to injury from guys getting hit at the plate.
Kevin Kramer missed most of the season, most of the second half of the season, all the second half of the season. Got hit by a pitch on the hand and broke his hand before the All-Star break. Logan Hill, who was a big contributor once he got up from Bradenton, was hit in the hand and missed the rest of the year. He's still down. Solak's going to remain in the game and trot down to first base. And the Thunder have runners on first and second with nobody out. This is one of the better scoring opportunities they've had so far in this playoffs.
Batting sixth, third baseman, number 8, Abiatal Avelino.
Abiatal Avelino is the next man up for Trenton. See if he is putting down a bunt if the Thunder decide to try to play small ball. Keller has been a little wild this inning after a very crisp first inning. He almost hit Bichette up and in and then lost one in that hit Solak. The infield is expecting a bunt. The corner infielders are in on the grass. First pitch, bunt is shown, and it's put down nicely on the third base line. Matheson picks it up bare hand, fires across to first, and just gets the out. And the runners move up 90 feet. Sacrifice bunt 5-4. The second baseman Tolman covering at first. And Zach Zahner is standing in next for Trenton.
Left fielder, number 37, Zach Zahner.
Runners at second and third. The Curve have worked out of these types of situations a handful of times in this series. Mitch Keller has strikeout stuff that could help him find a way out of this jam. Zahner stepping in. First pitch. Takes breaking ball for a strike. It's 0-1. First look at the hook tonight from Keller. Zahner has struggled in this series at the plate. He's got a chance to make up for that if he can give Trenton their first lead of this series here. The 0-1 pitch. Fastball strike taken at the knees. It's 0-2. Second and third with one out. Top of the second inning. Trenton looking for the lead. First time in this set the Curve have scored first in all their postseason games so far. An 0-2 count. Look back to second from Keller and the pitch. Check swing on a breaking ball in the dirt. Skips away for a moment from Jung. The appeal goes to first base, and Rich Rasta says he did not go around. The home crowd into it, arguing with that call, but he did not go. Held the swing back. It's 1-2. Jung, important for Jung to block some of these breaking balls from Keller with that runner at third base. Jinda has been very, very good behind the plate defensively this season. Everything about it, receiving, pitch calling, throwing out base runners, stopping balls in the dirt. 1-2 pitch. Swinging a chopper hit towards short. This will score a run. Reyes plays it, flips it across to first, and Trenton scores first. Zahner retired on the ground out. But Bichette does come in to score, and the Thunder lead at 1-0. The first run allowed in the postseason by Keller. A leadoff double coming back to hurt.
Center fielder, number 24.
RBI 6-3 ground out for Zahner, and Rashad Crawford steps in. Solak's now at third. Bichette crossed the plate. 2 outs, runner at third base. 1-0 Trenton in front. They try to stave off elimination tonight. They were swept in the playoffs in the championship series last year by Akron. First pitch to Bichette, he swings, or excuse me, first pitch to Rashad Crawford is swung on and missed. It's 0-1.
And any time a curve pitcher has really given up a run in the postseason, it's pretty surprising. 7 earned runs over 45 innings for the entire staff. They've gone one full turn through the rotation.
0-1 pitch is swung on and missed. Got him the chase down and outside again. It's 0-2. The Curve pitching staff has a 1.40 ERA in the playoffs. Starters have gotten the wins in all 5 games they played. 0-2 count on Crawford. Keller set, and he deals. Breaking ball popped up towards shallow left. This is trouble, and that's going to fall down for a base hit. And Trenton takes a 2-0 lead. Crawford's heading for second. George's throw comes in, and it's cut off. And on an 0-2 pitch, Crawford bloops a single, or a double rather, to left field. Solak scores, and it's 2-0 Thunder. Francisco Diaz is up next.
Catcher, number 17, Francisco Diaz.
2 doubles in the inning for the Thunder. Their 6th batter of the frame coming up. Switch hitter Diaz batting against Keller. Here's some light for Trenton. Down 2-0 in the series, but coming out swinging tonight in Game 3. Keller eyeing in for a sign from Jung. He sets and looks back to second. Here's the first pitch. Outside for ball 1.
And Trenton's not a team that, despite being down 0-2, they're not going to come in here with their heads down. As we've seen tonight, a team that won 92 games during the regular season.
Yeah, many times they won 3 consecutive games. This series is far from over. 1-0 pitch is fouled away. It's 1-1. The electricity we felt in the ballpark is kind of hushed for a moment. The Curve will try to keep this a 2-run inning, get back to the bats in the bottom half of this frame. 1-1 count on Diaz, number 9 batter in the order. And the pitch. Lined it foul down the third base side. It's 1-2.
This is a big batter here for Keller. The guys at the top of the lineup for the Thunder, all the guys that have done the damage for the majority of their postseason. Just top 3 in the order.
A 1-2 count on Francisco Diaz. Keller working out of the stretch, which is not a position he's seen much in these playoffs. Trying to close out the inning. Here's his 1-2 coming. Just missed. Keller started walking toward the dugout. No strike called on a fastball around the knees, but just off the outside corner. And that evens the count. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Very close take from Diaz. Try it again. The 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball's tapped softly to second. Tolman sprints in. Plays it by the grass, tosses to first, and that ends the inning. And Keller limits the damage to 2 runs. Of this inning, Nick Solak has been removed from the game. Avelino goes to second. Dante Bichette Jr. goes to third base. Here's the first pitch to Jarek Suter. He takes a fastball belt-high strike down the middle. It's 0-1. Ryan McBroom enters the game in the batting order spot of Solak. He will play defensively at first base. And McBroom will hit in the 5th spot of the order. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Suter. Swinging a chopper softly rolled out in front of the mound, third base side. Picked up by Carter. Throws to first low, but it's picked up by McBroom for the first out of the inning.
Batting fifth, catcher, number 47, Jinda Jung.
Jinda Jung is up next for the Curve, hitting .231 this regular season. He had 3 homers, and he drove in 25 runs, playing about half the year. But in the playoffs, he's batting .353. Pair of extra base hits, pair of runs driven in. On base percentage at .429. Left-handed batter facing Carter. The windup and the pitch coming from the right-hander. Taken for a called strike. Curve need to get something going quickly. You don't want to let a deficit against Trenton linger. Give any confidence back to these Thunder offensive and defensive players. Here's a ground ball chopped to second. Avelino down to a knee to play it. He throws onto first and gets out number 2. Wyatt Matheson will step up with 2 outs and the base is empty. 2-0 Trenton in front, bottom of the second inning.
Number 5, Wyatt Matheson.
2 outs, bases are empty for Matheson, the all-star third baseman. Western Division starter at third base in New Hampshire in the all-star game in 2000 and back in July. 272 hitter, 5 homers, 31 driven in for the season. Finding the batter against the right-handed pitcher. First toss coming in from Carter's on the outside corner for a called strike. In the playoffs this year, Matheson, about what he did in the regular season, 286 hitter. He does have a 1 homer. Came in the division series against the Bay Sox. He swings and misses. Fastball down low that he chased. It's 0-2. And this is a Thunder team that won 92 games for a reason this year, and it was not just the pitching, which set records, but the offense was very good for them as well. 0-2 pitch is way outside. Count goes to a ball and 2 strikes on Matheson. The team batting average for the Thunder was tied for second in the Eastern League at .264. The team ERA for their pitching staff, .283, was the best in the Eastern League since the mid-1970s. Breaking ball, waved that and missed. Matheson down on strikes. Tyro Estrada and Billy Fleming coming to the plate with Trenton in front, 2-0. Scored 2 runs last inning. Leadoff double followed by a hit by pitch, and those both came around to score. Against Mitch Keller. Comes back out for his 3rd inning of work. He steps back and fires the first pitch to Jeff Hendricks. Taken for a strike. Keller dominated the first inning. Couple of strikeouts on 8 pitches total for the frame. 1-2-3 inning. Ran into some trouble last inning. Here's the 0-1. Ground ball rolled softly to short. Pablo Reyes charges in, picks it up next to the bag and tosses to first for out number 1. Hendricks grounds to short, 6-3, 1 out, and Tyro Estrada up next for the Thunder. He had driven in all 3 of Trenton's runs in this series prior to tonight's game. He's hitting .417, including his ground out in the first inning for this playoff run for Trenton. Rare early runs given up by Keller in this start. Here's the first pitch to Estrada. He takes outside for ball 1. Keller had only given up 1 run over the first 4 innings of his first 7 starts in a Curve uniform. 2 runs across in the second. It was the 5th and the 6th innings that got him in the trouble earlier in the year. 1-0 pitch is taken for a ball up high. 2-0. Two balls, no strikes. Keller deals the pitch. Popped up foul. Set down the first base side. It's now 2-1. That snaps a long scoreless streak for Keller in the postseason as well. He had 8 scoreless innings worked in a Florida State League championship start last year. For the 9 scoreless in the playoffs against the Bay Sox this season. Ground ball softly rolled to short. Pablo's got it again. Tosses to first in plenty of time for out number 2. Back-to-back ground outs for Keller. Have the first 2 outs of this inning with Billy Fleming coming up.
It's also the first earned runs that Keller has allowed in a game since August the 27th against Bowie. Had back-to-back scoreless appearances, of course, in the postseason against the Bay Sox. That complete game 1 hitter.
2 outs, bases empty. First pitch to Fleming is a fastball strike over the outside corner. It's 0-1.
And prior to that, a game against Harrisburg in which he struck out 11 over 6 scoreless frames.
That was a career high for him. 0-1 pitch to Fleming. Down and away. 2-0 Thunder in front, top of the 3rd. 2 outs and the base is empty. Keller had a lot of success against the Thunder in his 2 starts against them in the regular season. Off-speed pitch misses outside. Moves the count to 2 balls and a strike. He made his first 2 Double-A starts against the Thunder. Debuted in Trenton on August 6th, allowed 2 runs in 6 innings. Same result, 2 runs, 6 innings at home against the Thunder at his next start. Line drive sent down the right field side toward foul ground. Suki races over, but it's well out of play. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Billy Fleming, the designated hitter for Trenton. He's been one of their better offensive contributors in this series, 2 for 4 yesterday. Came as a pinch hitter late in the game a couple of days ago. Swings and fouls this pitch back out of play. Count stays 2-2. Came in as a pinch hitter in the 9th inning in game 1 and got a single to put the tying run on base for the Thunder, but he was left at third. Keller's 2-2 pitch coming home. Grounded to third. Matheson plays the second hop, bobbles for a moment, but collects it, and he fires across to first to get out number 3. 6 up, 6 down so far to start the night against Will Carter. His first pitch of the 3rd inning. George swings and rips it back up the middle, but right to the shortstop Estrada. Tosses over to first for the out. 1 pitch, 1 out to start the inning for Will Carter. Got him positioned well. Carter got through his first 2 innings on 14 pitches. 15 pitches it actually was, excuse me. Michael Suki standing in next for the curve with 2 outs, or 1 out and the base is empty. Suki's hitting .316 in the playoffs, a homer and 3 RBIs. And the 5 games played, he takes first pitch strike tossed in from Carter. Curve looking for their first hit. Suki, the 8th batter in the order, 0-1. Taken up high, ball to strike.
It's been this bottom portion of the order that has really gotten things going offensively for Altoona throughout the postseason.
Suki and Escobar been big contributors, 8-9 hitters. 1-1, swinging a soft liner down the left field side and a base hit. Might have broken his bat. Softly rolls out to Zahner, who flips back to the infield, and Suki's on with the Curve's first hit tonight. And Nate, you nailed it. This bottom part of the lineup for the Curve has really done some damage, and we'll see if they can make something happen.
Number 13, Elvis Escobar.
Elvis Escobar has had an incredible postseason. As far as coming through with big hits, where scoring has been so hard to come by in all these games. Elvis is hitting .350 in the playoffs with 6 RBIs. The one downside is he's struck out in about half of his at-bats. But you'll take it when he's producing the way that he has. He's hitting .350 with an on-base percentage of .350. So it's been hit or miss, literally. Throw over to first base, and Suki dives back in. Will Carter to the stretch for the first time tonight. Runner at first base, 1 out. Curve down 2-0 in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Elvis has also hit extremely well against the Thunder this season. Swings and fouls the first pitch off down the third base side. It's 0-1. Against Trenton in the regular season, if you'll recall, he had walk-off hits in back-to-back days against Trenton in this ballpark. No balls and a strike. Oh, the Altoona center fielder step off and throw over to first, and again Suki dives back in. Carter paying a lot of attention to Suki over at first base.
There's so much postseason experience on this Curve team, but Escobar, one of only a couple of guys that has Eastern League postseason experience.
Another throw to first, and Suki just gets back in with a dive.
After being with the Curve for the end of last season and the run through Akron in the divisional series.
24 of the 26 players who have suited up in a postseason game for the Curve this year have playoff experience before this season. An 0-1 count. Escobar at the left-handed batter's box against the right-handed pitcher Carter. And the pitch. Escobar takes high. Count goes to ball and a strike. Many of these players won either or both a championship last season in the Florida State League with Bradenton under Michael Ryan, or the 2015 New York Penn League title Quick pitch, swinging a ground ball, chopped to first base. Picked up by McBroom, who throws to second for the out, but the throw back to first is plenty late. Escobar legs out the fielder's choice. Carter, after taking his time, changed up his tempo a bit, came set and quickly came home. Escobar chops the ground out. Fielder's choice to first, 3-6 on the play. Suki forced out at second base, and Mitchell Tolman, who lined to center to get the curve offense started in the bottom of the first inning, stands in with 2 outs and a runner at first base. Curve down by 2 in the bottom half of the third inning. First pitch coming. Tolman takes up and in, almost hit him with the elbow out of the way. Tolman's been another big contributor who only played 3 regular season games for the Curve. He had a walk-off 3-run homer in the 12th inning in the final regular season game back on Labor Day. Sitting 300 in the playoffs, has driven in 3 runs. 1-0 pitch, swings and fouls it away. Just caught a piece off the end of the bat from Will Carter, and the count goes to a ball and a strike.
Tolman has shown such good opposite field power since being called up, and you can see Trenton well aware of that, with Zahner very deep in left field, but they're playing him a bit truer than some teams have since he's been called up. The right fielder Hendricks in his regular spot. A lot of teams have pulled the right fielder way off the line, and we've seen Tolman be able to pull something right down the line as well when they have that shift on.
Yeah, he certainly used the whole field. A throw over to first base, Escobar's back. Now they set back up. Carter working out of the stretch. Escobar, a good lead over at first base. Tolman standing in the box. 2 outs and a 1-1 count. Here's the pitch. Taken high for a ball, 2-1. This is the most that Carter has had to labor in an inning so far, and that's not saying a whole lot. He's only thrown 11 pitches this inning. Two balls and a strike. Carter steps off and throws over to first again, and Elvis is back in. Did a good pickoff move. He's had a couple of close calls with Suki and Escobar. He's thrown more to first this inning, I think he has, than he's thrown home. They don't count on the pitch counter, but they'll certainly start wearing you down some. Turns his attention back to home plate, then steps off and throws to first again. Escobar dives back. These aren't just keep him close pickoff throws. These are get him out pickoff throws. And every single one of them just about has been close. Carter works to the first base side of the rubber against the left-hander Tolman. He comes set and throws home. Tolman swings and rips it back up the middle for a base hit. Escobar's turning around second. He'll hit the brakes as Crawford comes up with it and tosses toward third base. Escobar moves up to second on the single by Tolman. Curve have runners on first and second base with 2 outs for Pablo Reyes.
Shortstop, Pablo Reyes.
Offensively for the Curve, this is how you're going to have to get to Carter. It's to string together hits. He does not give up many home runs at all. 3 this season and just 5 at his minor league career over 172 frames.
Now a 2.5 ground ball to air out ratio. Most of his outs come on the ground. Sinking fastball that he throws gets guys to roll over. Here's Reyes, 2 outs, a couple of runners on who have good wheels. First pitch, Pablo takes high and inside. 1 ball and no strikes. Pablo in the playoffs has had a couple of really rough offensive games. Hitting .250, a homer and an RBI. He's walked 3 times. On base percentage at .400. He's been able to get on out of this 2 spot. Here's the 1-0. Takes a called strike. Carter changed speeds, kept it on the outside corner. It's 1-1. Reyes played much better offensively at home this season than he did on the road. Hit .288 in this ballpark, although only had 4 homers here. 1-1 is a called strike. Fastball runs over the outside corner. It's 1-2. Thunder in front, 2-0. Curve have their first 2 base runners of the night on base right now. Bottom half of the third inning with 2 outs. Carter trying to work out of this inning. He sets and fires. Just missed outside. Dropped it a little too low. Down near the outside corner. The count evens 2 balls, 2 strikes on Pablo.
Ray is one of the best, if not the best, hitters on this Curve team with 2 strikes.
Long time this year, he had one of the best strikeout rates in the league. Piled up a bit more on him late. 2-2 pitch. Pablo takes outside and low. Fill it up 3-2. So with a full count and 2 outs, the runners will be off and moving, and very good speed on the bases. If Pablo can drive one to the gap somewhere, might be able to bring them both around. Full count, 3-2. A big pitch coming up from Will Carter. He sets in, delivers. Pablo swings and misses.
He's have 1 home run and 1 RBI as he takes a called strike over the outside corner. Bichette has spent parts of seasons with the Thunder since 2014 as he awaits the 0-1 pitch. Sprays this one foul down the right side. It's quickly 0-2. But this season, the average about 20 points higher than any of those other years with Trenton. Really starting to perform at this level. Can play both sides of the infield as we've seen him do this evening. The 0-2 is foul tipped into the glove of Jinda Jung, and down on strikes goes Bichette Jr. It is strikeout number 3 for Keller. 1 away, and Orion McBroom will come to the plate. His first at-bat of the night against Keller after he came on to replace Nick Solak, who was hit by a pitch.
It's been a little surprising we haven't seen more of McBroom in this series. He started the first game, didn't play yesterday.
First pitch to him is in there for a called strike, 0-1.
Well, it's not in the lineup today, coming in as a replacement when they had to shift things around with Solak leaving the ballgame. But he's a good hitter between New Hampshire and Trenton this year. Traded midseason from the Blue Jays to the Yankees.
The 0-1 misses low, maybe a bit inside as well, and it's even up at 1-1.
Overall, he had 247, but really bumped that up with the Thunder, 257 down the stretch, and had 16 total homers this year.
The 1-1 hit on the ground over towards third. Matheson has it across the diamond to Suter, and there are 2 away.
Keller seems to be back in a groove after running into some trouble in the second inning.
That'll bring up Abiato Avelino.
Really, the double by Bichette, the only solid contact he's allowed tonight. Hit the next batter, and then since then it's been good pitching from him. The double by Crawford was a blue pit.
First one is in there for a called strike with the fastball to Avelino over the outside corner. It's now 0-1.
The one that added that second run across, it was just flared barely fair down the left field line.
The 0-1 from Keller is looped foul and out of play off to the right side.
That's something that the Thunder did do well against Keller this year, though, was just get the bat on the ball and find a place for it. We saw several times this year where Trenton was able to capitalize on weakly hit singles. They don't go in the box score as weak hits.
The 0-2 popped up right side towards foul ground goes Suter. The second baseman Tolman in fair territory will make the catch for the final out. Left those men on base. First one to Kramer is upstairs and inside. He spins out of the way. The count is now 1-0. Kramer got off to such a good start for Altoona, hitting .297 in 53 games. As the 1-0 comes to the plate, and this one way upstairs, it's 2-0. Before he was sent to the DL. Just made his way back here for the postseason. Got into 4 games on a rehab assignment between the Gulf Coast League and the West Virginia Black Bears. As he takes a pitch upstairs for a ball, it's 3-0. He went 3 for 15 across those 4 games. All 3 of his hits came in the New York Penn League. Did knock in a couple of runs in 3 games for the Black Bears. 3-0 pitch to Kramer. He is taken for a called strike right at the top of the zone from Carter. He's been in the strike zone most of the night. This really first batter he's missed several times to. The 3-1 pitch to Kramer. Lifted in the air out towards right center. Crawford venturing over. Camps underneath it, and he squeezes it for out number 1. So Kramer is retired. It'll bring up Jarek Suter. Suter spent most of his time here in the cleanup spot since the promotion of Edwin Espinal. A very productive season for Altoona. as he awaits the first one from the right-hander, Carter. Shown good power this year. The first pitch to Suter misses outside, and it's 1-0. 10 home runs for the Curve in 100 games. He knocked in 58. Over at first base in this one. The 1-0 pitch in there for a called strike. It's even up at 1-1. 250 of the postseason for Suter. He's knocked in 1. Curve trailing the Thunder 2-0 here in the home half of the fourth with 1 out. The 1-1 pitch to Jarek is in there for a called strike. Count goes to 1-2. Suter has hits in his last 4 postseason games. Did not record a hit in the opener against the Bay Sox. The 1-2 to the plate. Takes it, low and away, and kicks off the glove of Diaz. And the count evens back up 2-2. Another one of those Curve hitters has been able to work the count this season. The infield is shading him to go the other way. The outfield straight away. The 2-2 coming from Carter. Sprayed foul way late on the start of that swing, but somehow able to get the bat to it to stay alive. The Altoona offense, just the 2 hits. They were both singles. And both coming in the 3rd inning. Snapped a streak of 7 in a row that Carter had set down. The 2-2 again to Suter. Just missed. And Diaz tosses it back. The count runs full 3-2. Diaz wanted that one, as did Carter. He walks off the back of the mound. Take an extra couple of seconds to think about it before he brings home a payoff pitch to the Altoona cleanup hitter. Here's the 3-2. Hit on the ground, right back by Carter, and by a diving Avelino into center field for a base hit. Rashad Crawford collects it, and Jarek Suter has a 1-out single. 3rd hit of the night for the Altoona offense. Going to bring up one of their hottest hitters in the postseason, Jinda Jung. And with a runner at first base, and the left-handed hitting Jung at the plate gives him a bit more of a hole on that side. The infield plays him to pull as well off the line as Bichette at 3rd. Suter not a big threat to run. Moderate lead at first. First pitch to Jung misses inside for ball 1. We have seen Jung bunt for a hit a number of times this year. One of the reasons Bichette is in almost at the edge of the grass despite being well off the line. Curve trailing at 2-0 in the home half of the fourth. The 1-0 pitch. This one ripped down the line. A diving stop made by McBroom, but it is just foul. Counts even up at 1-1. A good crowd tonight for Game 3 of the championship series. A crowd that very energetic through those first inning and a half, but once the Thunder jumped out to this 2-0 lead, they've been waiting for this Altoona offense to provide them a spark.
Still, you can feel the tension on every pitch of this game.
The 1-1 popped up left side. It's going to carry towards left field. Zahner coming in towards the line, and he makes the catch for out number 2. One didn't sound like it was going to go nearly that far off the bat, but it hung up for quite a while. And Jung is retired. So 2 away, a runner at first base, and Jarek Suter as Wyatt Matheson walks to home plate. Matheson gets a second look at Carter. He went down on strikes back in the 2nd inning. Wyatt, 267, does have a home run in the postseason. And he's knocked in 2. First pitch to him misses up and away for ball 1. Big home run in that series against the Bay Sox. Sailed over the UPMC Health Plan home run junction out in left field. Wasn't a cheap home run either. No downer from Wyatt. The 1-0 pitch. Check swing. They appeal down to first base. And Rich Grassa says he did not go around. Count now swings to 2-0 in favor of Wyatt Matheson. Wyatt, his first season at Double-A this year for the Curve. Moved to third base after he was drafted. He's such a big arm. It's a real weapon over at third.
Not only the arm, but his reaction, his glove, quickness. He's shedded some weight heading into this year, and it's helped him move a bit third base.
Ahead in the count, 2-0. Carter sets the pitch to the plate. This one chopped on the ground, and it is going to be just foul down the third base side. That one very close to hitting the chalk. Richard Riley getting out of the way as he made the call.
It stayed fair most of the way. Must have just kicked to the left of the base as it rolled by. A 4-umpire crew in this series, which we don't usually see. Usually it's 3 at this level in Double-A, 3 in Double-A and Triple-A. They add a 4th one for the playoffs, give an extra eye. Normally you wouldn't have an umpire down the line there in this situation with the runner on first.
Certainly helps to be right on top of the play. The 2-1 misses inside for a ball, 3-1.
Seems like the more this game goes on, the more the Curve are getting patient at waiting out pitches from Carter.
Prior to this inning, Carter had thrown just 14 balls. 6 have missed the strike zone. Just in the at-bats for Suter. And Matheson now. So he's now up to 51 pitches. Another toss over to first to check on Jarek. Suter not straying too far from the bag, but we've seen Carter throw over just about every time the Curve have had a base runner. The 3-1 pitch to the plate is in there for a called strike. Wyatt a step towards first, and Diaz behind the plate. And I thought that one was upstairs as well. Took a couple steps towards the mound before he tossed it back, and the counter runs full again, 3-2.
Slightly delayed call and a little up and outside. Matheson thought it was ball 4. Instead, with the full count and 2 outs, Suter will be running on this pitch.
Jordan George in the on-deck circle for the Curve. Carter the set, the payoff pitch. Suter is off with it, and this one does miss up and away for ball 4. Another runner in scoring position here for Altoona. Now at first and second for Jordan George.
Curve have done a good job working walks in this series against Trenton. The Thunder were one of the best teams in the league at not walking anyone. All the pitching accolades they had the 4th fewest walks in the league. So Jose Rosado, the pitching coach for Trenton, is coming out to talk with Carter. The Curve have patiently waited out and worked walks against Trenton. All the pitching numbers that the Thunder have had, you can almost kind of throw them out in the playoffs, obviously, but the Curve have not really been very fazed by this Thunder pitching staff. Obviously, they've had a little bit of success in the playoffs to get those first 2 games won. But even in the regular season, the Thunder, had a 4.05 ERA against Altoona. When you take the other 10 teams in the league, they had a 2.71 earned run average. By far, their worst ERA this season came against the Curve.
Jordan George stands in. Jarek Suter, the runner at second. Wyatt Matheson at first for Altoona. There's 2 outs. They trail it 2-0 here in the home half of the 4th. George hitting 176 now in the postseason. Has knocked in a run. First pitch to him as he hits from the left side. Misses the outside corner. And George ahead of the count of 1-0.
George, really, since coming up to Altoona, has been instrumental with runners in scoring position. Only driven in 1 so far in the playoffs, but he got the hit last night that produced the first run. It was aided by an error in the outfield.
The 1-0 pitch taken for a called strike. Just caught the outside corner, and the count's even up 1-1.
And last night he came through with a single that dropped in front of Rashad Crawford, and as he went to throw, he kind of bobbled it away, and Jung scored. Got the first run across in Game 2 last night out in Trenton.
So many big hits when he was first called up. Had an RBI just about every game. The 1-1 is sprayed foul off to the left side. It counts 1-2. And so many of the players on this Curve team that way this year, as soon as they came up from Bradenton, instantly making an impact. And a big adjustment period for a number of them.
Yeah, Suter was that way. Early promotion this year. George. And of course, Mitchell Tolman late in the year. Cole Tucker eventually got it rolling. Mitch Keller. Lots of big pieces have gotten midseason jumps.
Count of 1-2 now to Jordan George. Diaz sets up away. The pitch, a breaker that doesn't catch the outside corner. Didn't come back enough, and it's even up at 2-2.
Trevor really working some pitches out of Carter this inning. They got him to labor quite a bit last inning as well. Left runners at first and second. Got to come through at some point. Cut into this Trenton lead.
And just 15 pitches through his first 2 innings. Getting ready to bring home his 58th here in the fourth. The 2-2 hit on the ground, back the middle. Slow roller, charging his Estrada, gets to it and throws to first to set down George for the final out. No runs for the Curve offense on a 1 hit. In 9 in the order, coming up against Mitch Keller. Zach Zader leads us off. First pitch to him. In there for a called strike from Mitch Keller. Rashad Crawford and Francisco Diaz will follow for the Thunder. 0-1 pitch. Inside, and it misses for a ball. Counts even up at 1-1. Zader 273, no homers. He has knocked in a run in the postseason for this Thunder offense. The 1-1. Chopped on the ground towards third, and this rolls foul. Counts now 1-2. Wyatt Matheson in a bit at third for those first 3 pitches, and really guarding the line over there. Trying to take away the pull side of the right-handed hitter. He now backs up to a more normal depth. Still playing towards the line. The outfield is straight away. The 1-2 pitch from Keller bounces in the dirt. Gina Jung out to snag it, and the count's even up at 2-2. Last offering pitch number 50 for Keller. He's been hammering the strike zone. 38 of his first 50 have gone for strikes. The 2-2 offering coming to Zaner. Called strike 3, and he is down looking. That is strikeout number 4 for Mitch Keller. The second one he's got looking. And Rashad Crawford will stride towards home plate.
Center fielder, Rashad Crawford.
Crawford with a bloop double in his first at bat tonight to knock in a run. Believe it or not, that was his first run driven in of the postseason for Trent. This one misses upstairs for a ball, 1-0. Crawford now hitting 400.
First one not driven in by Tyro Estrada in the division or in the championship series.
1-0 on the ground to second. Tolman in to pick it up on to Suter, and there's quickly 2 away. Number 9 hitter Francisco Diaz will make his way to home plate. Diaz 0 for 1. He bounced out to Tolman at second to end the second inning. That was a big out in that second inning. The Thunder had already pushed across 2 runs and had a runner in scoring position at the time. Diaz, 27-year-old, played at a number of levels in the Yankees farm system this year as he takes a pitch outside for ball 1. 4 games in AAA for Scranton Wilkes-Barre, 2 with Staten Island, and 6 for High A Tampa. The 1-0 pitch, waved it and missed way late. And the count's now 1-1.
No pitch readings in the stadium on the velocity tonight, but getting word that it's been about 97, 98 this evening in the fastball.
The 1-1 is again late, fouled off by Diaz. Off to the left side and well out of play. Counts now 1-2. Keller trying to put another 0 on the board with 2 outs and ahead of the count here as Diaz asks for time at home plate. Now we're ready to go. Keller's 1-2. Just missed the outside corner with a breaking ball, and Jung held that one for a very long time, but he couldn't earn the call. Counts down 2-2. Goes back to the fastball here. Diaz been late on it a couple of times. The 2-2 is a fastball, just misses the outside corner, and the count runs full, 3-2. Keller steadies the payoff pitch to the plate. Fouled back to the screen, another fastball. Diaz couldn't quite catch up to it. Keller this season, just 11 walks in an Altoona uniform across 34 2/3 innings. He's certainly been attacking hitters tonight. His 60th pitch of the evening is fouled off again.
Just chucking fastballs in at Diaz right now. You mentioned it before. He was late on several of them, but not one to give in and issue a walk, but Diaz has been able to spoil away a couple.
See what Jinda Jung puts down here. Number of them fouled off. The 3-2 pitch. Breaking ball. Called strike 3. Froze him at the plate. Righty-righty matchup. First pitch from Carter. Misses upstairs for ball 1. Suki, another member of this Altoona team that missed time due to injury. Came back and struggled a bit initially, but has really come on in the postseason. The 1-0 ripped into left field. That'll fall for a base hit. Zahner is over and gets it back in. Another single for Michael Suki. And it is hit number 4 for the Curve tonight. It'll bring up Elvis Escobar. See which way the Curve elect to go. Can do a lot of different things with a guy like Escobar, a left-handed hitter against the right-handed pitcher, but plenty of speed to burn for Elvis. Trenton guarding against the bunt. Bichette is well in. Maybe 2 steps onto the grass at third, inside of that cutout. First pitch to Elvis, misses up and away. That one wasn't close. Maybe just a pitch to see what Escobar was going to be doing. He did not square around.
Curve have had some base runners the last couple of innings. They left 2 in each of the last 2 frames. A couple of good scoring opportunities they haven't been able to convert on.
Suki away from first. See if Carter throws over. He will. And this one skips away. So many throws over to first base. It comes back to haunt him. Suki around to second. A big turn, but he'll stop there. Avellino ran a long way in a very short amount of time to get to that baseball up against the tarp. And Altoona with another runner in scoring position. The error charged to Will Carter.
Yeah, he spiked the throw in. We know how much sink he's got on his fastball coming to the plate. Well, that one dropped too much getting to first, went past McBroom, and it looks like the Thunder are going to get some movement starting in their bullpen soon. They are up 2-0 in this game, but remember, they have no wiggle room. They lose tonight, their season comes to a close. So would not be surprised to see Bobby Mitchell and company turning to the pen early if they start to remotely lose faith in Carter, who has pitched extremely well, but he has allowed 5 base runners now over the last couple innings.
Infield is back on the right side. Bichette remains at the cutout of the grass. This one chopped to the right side and by Avellino into right field. Suki gets the stop side as the throw comes in quickly from Hendricks, and the Curve have runners at the corners. First and third with no one out for the Altoona offense.
Greg Pickard in the third base coaching box being conservative with no outs. Didn't want to have Suki run into an out at the plate. Would have been a very close play, so a smart decision. Got the top of your order coming up. And how about it again, the bottom of the order? Suki and Escobar, those 2 in this series in the playoffs, have been pretty clutch. They've set the table. We'll see if Curve can make something out of it.
Tolman from the left side spins the bat. Singled in his last trip, 1 for 2 tonight. Bichette remains in on the edge of the grass at third. First pitch to him. He takes in there for a cold strike. McBroom took a step towards the plate off of first base as well. There's a right-hander now starting to throw in the Thunder bullpen. Curve trailing it by 2. And the tying run on at first. And Michael Suki, the runner at third. Escobar leading away from first base. The 0-1. Tolman check swing. He's able to pull the wrist back and takes it up and in. And the count's even up 1-1.
I think it's Raynell Espinal warming up, I believe, in the bullpen for Trenton.
The most pitches Carter threw in a regular season game. 80 as a member of the Thunder in his last start on August the 30th.
He missed most of the start of the year, first half of the year, with bone chips at his elbow. Pitched out of the bullpen for a while with Trenton this year.
The 1-1 lifted in the air towards shallow center. Coming on is Crawford. He gets to it. Suki went back to third. He will not test it coming home as he took a couple of steps towards home plate. Was not standing on the base when that ball was caught. The throw was well up the first base line, but Suki remains at third base, and that's the first out of the inning.
That's a huge, huge win for the Thunder. Bad base running. It was a line drive that looked like it was going to get down, but Suki was too far off the base to tag up. Needs to be tagging anyway. It's not like it was going to be a close play at the plate if it dropped. It's a big break for the Thunder.
Here's Pablo Reyes. In at third is Bichette. And off the line, Reyes, a right-handed hitter. First pitch to him is taken for a called strike as the middle infielders are about halfway in. Avellino now comes in right behind second base, looking over towards the Thunder dugout.
Carter is good at getting ground balls for double plays. If he gets one here, he'd work out of this jam with nothing against him.
0-1 to Pablo Reyes. Diaz setting up away. The 0-1 misses outside and alone. Counts even up at 1-1. Michael Suki standing over at third base. Elvis Escobar with great speed at first base. And Reyes can run really well at home plate. Unless he hits it hard at someone. Not an easy guy to double up. Carter from the belt, the 1-1. Misses the outside corner as Diaz didn't like the call this time. It was his turn to frame it. We saw that from Jin DeJong in the last half inning. Counts now 2-1 on Reyes. Pablo's 0 for 2 tonight. He's bounced down to third and gone down on strikes. To have one home run in the playoffs, a solo homer here at home as he asked for time at home plate. It was Diaz, the catcher, that signaled for time. See that very often. Next offering to the plate, the 69th of the evening for Will Carter. He sets the 2-1. Taken as it skips in. Counts now 3-1. Diaz did well to keep it in front of him.
Better have Kramer on deck if he gets a chance, barring a double play ball. I don't know if Carter will see another batter if the runner gets on against him. Looks like for the reliever, if that is Espinal, looks like he's ready to go. Down in the left field bullpen.
Diaz has done well to keep a couple of these pitches from Carter in front of him. Have missed low and away. He again is setting up towards the outside corner. This one misses up and away for ball 4. Pablo Reyes trots to first, and Altoona now has the bases loaded.
Bobby Mitchell's on the top step of the dugout, and it's actually going to be Rosado who comes out to the mound. The pitching coach, Jose Rosado, I believe, coming out. It is. So not taking him out yet. Going to try to see if he can work out of this. He's been good tonight, but the Curve have put more and more pressure on him. Remember, they had a couple of base runners with 2 outs in the third inning, and Carter struck out Reyes to in the frame. Got a couple of base runners against him last inning, and he got a ground out from Jordan George to work out of it. And now 3 base runners have reached this inning. The 1 out that has been recorded was on a scorched line drive to center off the bat of Tolman that Rashad Crawford, with his good speed, was able to run down.
And these center fielders the Curve have gone against in the playoffs. First, Mullins from the Bowie Bay Sox, and now Crawford have taken away a number of hits from this Altoona offense. Here's Kevin Kramer. He's 0 for 2 tonight. He's hit the ball in the air both times, which is tough to do against Will Carter. He flat out to left in the first inning. Flat out to center in the fourth. Altoona trailing by 2, but the base is loaded. First pitch to Kramer, lifted in the air and foul and out of play. Off to the left side. It's got a little bit too far inside on him.
Kramer was for much of this season one of the best hitters in AA baseball. Had an incredible 32 game on base streak earlier in the year, 1 shy of the franchise record. Lost half his season, a broken hand after being hit by a pitch. Back for the playoffs.
The 0-1 from Carter, taken low and inside for a ball. It's 1-1.
Kramer had a great collegiate career at UCLA. Missed time there, missed a whole year there with an injury, and but ended up having a good career still. And now he's rocketed up the ladder. He was a great defensive second baseman this year. We haven't seen him defensively in his playoffs, but this would be a big spot to see him come through.
1-1 count from Carter. The pitch to the plate is taken for a called strike. Just caught the inside corner, and the count's now 1-2. The crowd's starting to come alive a bit more here in the 5th. We're really into this game from the start. Hoping this Altoona offense can get something on the board here. Suki, the runner at third. Escobar at second. Reyes at first. The 1-2. Fouled off and out of play as Kramer stays alive.
Kramer was a great battler at the plate earlier in the year when we saw him. We haven't seen him really a whole lot in this series or in this playoffs. You know, he's still getting back up to game speed. Went through some extended spring training time and some rehab work with West Virginia.
Carter's been pounding the fastball inside as Diaz again sets up inside. The 1-2. This one bounces in. Diaz has it bounce in front of him, and he stares down at Michael Suki at third base.
You mentioned it a little bit earlier in the inning, but some great work done behind the plate by Francisco Diaz in this inning. He was the backup catcher for a lot of the year with the Thunder.
2-2 the count here to Kramer.
And Jorge Sáez lost with a concussion for a while, and Diaz has stepped up nicely in the postseason.
Runners edging away from their bases. The 2-2 to the plate. Lifted in the air, foul out of play down the left side. Kramer straightening it out just a bit more. We'll do it again at 2-2.
Now 70 pitch mark reached for Carter in this game. The Curve have battled and battled against him. Have yet to come through and strike for a run. And Kramer fighting off pitches, waiting on a mistake from Carter.
Everyone in this ballpark hanging on every pitch here, with the bases loaded for the Curve. The 2-2 to the plate. This one hit on the ground, back towards Carter. He catches it and comes home. They will get the out at home. That's all they'll have time to get. As Suki is retired, the bases remain full for the Curve, but that's a big out. It'll go 1-2 on the put out at home plate.
Power hitter, first baseman, Derek Suter.
Derek Suter will bat now for the Curve, the cleanup man. Suter 1 for 2 against Carter. Hit the ball right back to Carter in the second inning and singled up the middle in the fourth. Huge at bat here. Trenton manager Bobby Mitchell will stick with Carter. The first pitch is up and away for ball one.
And Suter batting now, and he was the top run producer for the Curve this year outside of Edwin Espinal, who got a promotion to AAA. Came through with some big hits throughout the season, really from the early parts of June. Turned around his year and put together one of the best seasons of his career.
Suter has knocked in 2 runs here in the postseason. Pitch to him is up and away for a ball. And the count's now 2-0. Suter 263 in the playoffs. 3 extra base hits. All of them have been doubles.
Got a single in tonight's game. Ripped one back up the middle last inning. Use another one of those.
Ahead in the count, 2-0. Carter's pitch taken up and away, 3-0, and the Curve would prefer a hit, but they would certainly take a walk to get him on the scoreboard here.
Carter's not missing by very much. Some really close, tough takes for Suter. Some tough misses for Will Carter.
Suter surely tanking here. 3-0 with the bases loaded and 2 away. Curve trailing at 2-0 in the home half of the fifth. Carter sets the pitch. In there for a cold strike. Right down the middle, and the count's 3-1. Some groans for the crowd, but nothing you can really complain about there. One was center cut from Carter.
And a little bit of a bias.
Big pitch here coming, 3-1. Carter rocks and fires. Misses low, ball 4. Suter heads down to first, and coming in to score is Elvis Escobar. Altoona has cut the lead in half. They trail it 2-1. Escobar, yet another run scored from the bottom part of the order. And the bases remain loaded. Will Carter still standing on the mound. And Jinda Jung will bat as Bobby Mitchell up to the top step of the dugout. He will flash some signs for his infielders, but he will stick with Carter. Infield shift is on against Jung. A lot of room down the left field line. First pitch to him. He takes upstairs for ball 1. Jung tonight is bounced out to second and flat out to left field. Pablo Reyes at third, Kevin Kramer at second, Jarek Suter at first base for Altoona. The 1-0. Low and inside, it's 2-0. And Diaz is going to go out to talk to Carter.
The ball got away from the bullpen for the Thunder as well, so a little extra time granted for that. Raynell Espinal chucked one that ended up all the way out by shortstop.
So we've already seen the pitching coach, Jose Rosado, go out to the mound. As Diaz went out there, third baseman Dante Bichette Jr. over to Pat Carter on the back. Jin DeJong ahead in the count, 2-0. Base is full for Altoona with 2 outs. Trailing by just 1 run here in the 5th inning. Carter's 2-0 pitch is taken, called strike, just caught the inside corner. Jung pulled his arms up out of the way.
Missed the target but caught the plate.
Count moves to 2-1.
The infield shifted to pull for Jung. He hits a lot of them lately up the middle. The shortstop Estrada is right there.
The 2-1 pitch. This one aligned out towards right field. Hendricks was playing in. He is back, and that one is over his head. It is Reyes. Following Reyes is Kramer. Suter around third, and he will score. Jin DeJong with a bases clearing triple, and the Curve now lead it 4-2. Jung so big this entire postseason. And Bobby Mitchell now out of that Thunder dugout.
We've been feeling this place all night, waiting on a moment to erupt. This crowd has been incredible tonight. They are up on their feet, just waiting for that moment to get up and cheer. And Jinda, who has been so big in these playoffs, just came through with the biggest hit the Curve has seen so far in this series.
Altoona leading it 4-2. Trenton does make the call to the bullpen. We'll tell you about the new right-hander when we come back on the Curve Radio Network. Altoona now leading Trenton 4-2. 4 already home in the inning, and a runner standing at third base in Jin DeJong. We'll see Wyatt Matheson at the plate. But first, a 5-star Mitsubishi of Altoona call to the bullpen as Raynell Espinal takes over.
9 outings for the Thunder. He was 2-0 with a 0.46 ERA. Also made a couple of spot starts. Very good right-hander for the Thunder. We saw him make his Double-A debut here in Altoona back on August the 6th. He's got good stuff. Maybe a pitch too late. Bobby Mitchell, you can't blame him, sticking with his starter, sticking with his guy. Carter had been very good for them in the playoffs. He had been great for them tonight. But Jin DeJong came through with a huge 2-out knock against him.
Here's Wyatt Matheson. He's 0 for 1. Went down on strikes in the 2nd inning. Worked a walk in the 4th. Matheson, the 8th man to come to the plate this inning for Altoona. You just feel it. The Curve just needed that 1 run to cross the plate. Base runners in each of the last 3 innings. Getting the job done here. Is this one a miss? Is low for a ball. It's 1-0 to Wyatt Matheson. Wyatt 267 to the postseason. Couple of RBIs. They both came on a home run to left field in this ballpark. Espinal sets the 1-0. This one lifted in the air towards shallow left. Breaking back with Zahner now comes in and makes the catch for the final out of the inning. And 3 tough hitters to face. Hendricks is 0 for 2 tonight. First pitch to him. Just missed. And it's 1-0. Hendricks down looking on strikes in the 1st inning. He bounced out to Pablo Reyes at short in the 3rd. Pitch here is in there for a called strike. Hendricks thinking it was inside, pulls his arms out of the way. Counts even up at 1-1. Despite going 0 for 2 tonight, Hendricks still hitting an even 400 in the postseason. Squares to bunt, pulls it back. They appeal down to 3rd. And the 3rd base umpire, Richard Riley, says he got it back in time. It's 2-1. Hendricks, just 2 extra base hits in the playoffs, despite hitting 400. The 2-1, hit on the ground towards 3rd. Matheson hops up to get to it across the diamond, and he has the first out. Nice defensive play by Wyatt Matheson. As Mitch Keller is now locked in on the mound. One out for Tyro Estrada. Estrada has bounced out to first and grounded to short. First offering is up and inside with a fastball, and it's 1-0. Estrada, a homer and 7 knocked in the playoffs. The 1-0 pitch to him. Outside. Missed by quite a bit. It's now 2-0. Despite going 0 for 2 tonight, he's still hitting .423. So these are the hitters that have done the damage for Trenton. The 2-0 fouled back to the screen, 2-1. Not only in this series against Altoona, but in the previous series against Binghamton as well. Keller still in good shape pitch count-wise as he gets ready to bring home number 69, the 2-1. Popped up foul down the right side. Suter gives it a look, but this one's going to get into the second deck. And a high hop and a nice grab, but falls into his friend there. Everybody's up and okay. The Curve staff quick, as they always are, to check in on all the fans at the ballpark. 2-2 from Keller is upstairs. Counter runs full, 3-2. Little extra on that fastball. And a rare full count for Mitch Keller. Infield is back and playing Estrada to pull. The payoff pitch popped up. Left side of the infield, venturing onto the outfield grass. Matheson is there, called off by Reyes. Kemp's under it and has it for the second out. First 2 men set down here in the inning, and Billy Fleming makes the walk to home plate. Fleming is 0 for 2 tonight. Went down on strikes through the first inning. He's also bounced out to third base. Number 3 entering .429 in the postseason. Swings at the first pitch, pops it up, shallow right. Suki to his left, and he has it for the final out of the inning. 4-2, the Altoona Curve have the lead. They come to the plate against Reno Espinal. Jordan George starts us off in the 6th inning. First pitch from Espinal. Misses outside for ball 1. The Curve offense sent 8 men to the plate. George, the only man that didn't come up in the 5th inning. Next pitch in there for a called strike. It's even up at 1-1. Pushing across 4 runs to take their first lead of the night. The Thunder and cruising along up 2-0. The 1-1 pitch to George. Fouled back to the screen. Late on the fastball from Espinal. The count goes to 1-2. Espinal shooting through the Yankees system this year. It's the 25-year-old. Games at 3 different levels. 10 games for Charleston down in the South Atlantic League to start. So here's his 1-2. Up and away for a ball, now 2-2. Had a 1.16 ERA across those 10 outings. Promoted to Tampa, a 1.69 ERA over 8 games. And got even better after being promoted to the Thunder. The 2-2 pitch. Missed the outside corner, counter runs full, 3-2. In 9 regular season games with Trenton, Espinal went 2-0 with a .46 ERA. He allowed just 1 earned run in almost 20 innings. Payoff pitch is hit on the ground towards second. Avellino has it, and on to McBroom to retire George for the first out here in the 6th. Michael Suki coming up now for Altoona. Suki, the lone multi-hit game for the Curve to this point. Singled in each of his first 2 plate appearances. Now 381 for Michael in the postseason. First pitch from Espinal. Upstairs for a ball, 1-0. Suki with a homer and 3 driven in. The 1-0, way upstairs, 2-0. Neither of these pitches very close for Espinal. He's a bit wild to start. 6 of his first 10 have missed the strike zone. Very uncharacteristic. He's walked just 51 in his minor league career, spending more than 205 innings. The 2-0 to the plate. Take it inside for a ball. That one just missed the inside corner. It was very close, but he didn't get the call. It's now 3-0 to Michael Suki. Elvis Escobar waiting in the on-deck circle for the curve. The 3-0 to the plate. Take it for a called strike right down the middle. Suki was taking all the way. Not even a thought about swinging there. Curve offense tonight with 4 runs on to 6 hits. Helped out by 1 Thunder miscue in the field. The 3-1. Waved it and missed. Big swing from Suki as the count now runs full, 3-2. That swing, Crawford a couple of steps back in center field. Zahner very deep in the left. The payoff pitch fouled back to the screen. Suki was right on it, and we'll have to do it again at 3-2. As Will Carter used just 15 pitches to get through the first 2 innings of that night. Since then, Altoona really working the count. The payoff pitch to Suki. Sprayed foul again off the handle of the bat. It's over near the bleachers down the first base side. We'll do it again at 3-2. Curve leading at 4-2 here in the home half of the 6th. A great vocal crowd here tonight. The payoff pitch to Suki. Lifted foul and out of play as he continues to fight on. So many of these at-bats like this from the curve. Just battling and battling. Really, these individual at-bats, a microcosm of the way the curve have played this entire season. Grinding it out till every last out. The payoff pitch again to Suki. Waved it and missed. He's down on strikes. First strikeout of the night for Espinal. It is strikeout number 3 for the Thunder pitching staff.
Center fielder, Elvis Escobar.
2 outs. The base is empty for Elvis Escobar. Escobar 1 for 2 in the game. He did reach on a fielder's choice back in the 3rd inning. Singled and came around to score in the 5th. First pitch to the curve, left-handed hitter, misses low for ball 1. .364 average for Escobar as he swings and misses here. And the count's even up at 1-1. 4-2. Curve leading the Thunder. 2 outs of the inning. A 1-1 count here to Elvis Escobar. Nate Bowen and Trey Wilson with you here tonight. The 1-1 from Espinal. Popped up. Shallow left field. Coming in is Zahner. Back is Bichette, and he ventures into fair territory.
Mitch Keller back out to the mound. Dante Bichette, Brian McBroom, and Aviatal Avelino, the batters. Curve leading 4-2 in Game 3 of this Eastern League Championship Series. Mitch Keller starts the windup, and his first pitch to Bichette is swung on and chopped toward third. Charging comes Matheson, and it goes foul. Tosses to first anyway. Bichette bounces into strike 1. That huge 5th inning. All 4 runs scored with 2 outs. The Curve have been excellent at bringing across 2-out runs in the postseason and down the stretch this year. They got a couple, not even just a couple, they got 4 more tonight. Take this 4-2 lead. The pitch, called a strike, bends one over the inside corner, and the count goes to 0-2. Mitch Keller has settled in after a bit of a bumpy 2nd inning and been back to his normal dominant self since then. 0-2 pitch, called low. Curveball dropped out of the strike zone. Count as a ball and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Waved that and missed, and he struck him out. Bichette strikes out for the first out of the 7th. Strikeout number 6 for Mitch Keller. 1 gone. And Ryan McBroom coming up. Broom is 0 for 1 tonight. Keller is locked back in. Top pitching prospect for the Pittsburgh Pirates. He's thrown ace stuff since joining this curve pitching staff back in August. First pitch is taken for a called strike. It's 0-1.
If it weren't for the injury to the back to Keller earlier in the year, we might have seen him a lot sooner than that.
Here's the windup in his 0-1 to McBroom. Lifted on a line towards second, and a base hit goes the other way into right field. McBroom is aboard with a one-out single. That snaps a long stretch for Keller. 14 straight sat down prior to that single by McBroom. Runner on first with one out. Nabiato Avelino batting. He's 0 for 1 tonight. First pitch is taken for a strike. It's 0-1. Only a 2-run game. So the Thunder, here with a runner on, have the potential tying run at the plate. So not a lot of wiggle room for Keller and company. Pitch sets, and he deals. Check swing on a breaking ball, appealed at first, and he didn't go, says Rich Grasso. Crowd disagrees. They thought he went around. Instead, the count is a ball and a strike. One out, runner at first. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Outside. Dropped one off the plate away. 2-1. Keller just now getting up over the 80 pitch mark. Bullpen has been quiet for the curve all night. 2-1. Misses outside. 3 balls and a strike now on Avelino. Keller pitching out of the stretch for the first time since the second inning. After that single by McBroom. Three and 1 pitch. Swinging a foul back. Tossed a fastball down the middle. And it's fouled back to the screen behind home plate. Heads up in the front row. Fan ducking out of the way. Not trusting the net.
Only a couple of 3-ball counts tonight from Keller. He's just reared back and gone with a fastball for the most part.
It's been effective. Full count, 3-2. Here's the pitch. Check swing, grounder rolls softly to the right side. Suter plays it, throws to short for one. Reyes to first, not in time for the double play. But they get the lead runner on a nice play from Suter. They at least get the lead man out. McBroom forced out. Avelino on at first on the fielder's choice. Thought Suter was for sure going to flip to Keller covering, but he turned and fired to Reyes covering at shortstop. Now 2 outs and Zach Zahner coming up. He's 0 for 1 with an RBI ground out.
Suter, since moving to first base, especially the last month of the season, has been so good defensively. Of course, Edwin Espinal on another level at the start of the year over there for Altoona.
Yeah, he set the franchise record with a perfect fielding percentage this year. Here's Zahner, 2 outs, runner on first. First pitch from Keller is a curveball taken right on the inside corner. No strike called. It's 1-0. The belt high curveball came back across the plate. Haven't seen him try the front door breaking balls a ton tonight. Tried it there, didn't get the call. It's 1-0. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Fastball. Misses. Close miss again, down and away. 2 balls in, no strikes. Goes the count to Zach Zahner. These are 2 really close misses from Keller. 2 balls, no strikes. Runner at first base and 2 outs. Keller's pitch. Swing and a miss. Fired one right down the middle, and Zahner a mile behind it. It's 2-1.
Has been a tight strike zone for most of the night, but it's been that way for everybody that's been on the mound for both teams.
2 balls and a strike.
Both guys behind the plate trying to earn those calls, frame those close ones.
Here's the pitch. Way outside. Count goes to 3-1. 3 balls and a strike, 2 outs. Keller, another 3-ball count. Nate, you mentioned a moment ago, you haven't really seen many 3-ball counts from him. He's got one again here. Been able to work around them. Has not issued a walk tonight. Here's his 3-1 pitch. Swinging a foul back. And again, fastball just tosses it over the plate and has it fouled back to the screen. Trenton has squared up one pitch tonight. That is it. Dante Bichette had a leadoff double in the second inning and eventually came around to score. That is one of the 3 hits that the Thunder have. One, a bloop double by Rashawn Crawford that scored Nick Solak, and the single this inning by McBroom that found a hole through the right side. Full count, 3-2. Avelino will be off and moving from first base. The set and the payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. Took him up the ladder and struck him out. 192 out of their 140 games this regular season. The Curve trying to sweep through the playoffs. Something that hasn't been done since Trenton did it in 2013. Here's Mitchell Tolman against Raydel Espinal. The first pitch coming home. Tolman swings and rips it towards second. Diving stop. Try by Avelino. It goes off his glove and it bounces out into right field. Tolman is aboard to start the bottom of the 7th. Leadoff single. Avelino lunged out for it, couldn't stop it, and Tolman is on base. Pablo Reyes coming up. He's 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. One of the top players for the Curve this regular season. Reyes batting here with nobody out, a runner on first. Bottom of the 7th. Curve looking to add some late insurance runs against the Thunder. Espinal's pitch. Pablo swings and misses. A little late on a fastball. Catcher Diaz rears back and looks toward first base, but does not throw behind Tolman. No balls and a strike on Pablo. Espinal delivers. Pablo drives it back to center. Crawford started in, now races back, and he runs it down to make the catch for the first down of the inning. Pablo squared it up well. Crawford able to overcome, step of the wrong way on his first read. Hauls it down for the first out. Kevin Kramer is up next. Kramer is 0 for 3 tonight with a run scored. Espinal set, a peek over at Tolman at first. And he steps off and throws over. Tolman dives back in. Curve out hitting Trenton 7-3, leading them 4-2. Action up in the bullpen for the Thunder. Here's the set from Espinal. Slowing down the pace. His pitch to Kramer. Taken in the dirt for ball 1. Bounces away for a moment from Diaz, but not very far. The runner stays put. Curve trying to do something that hasn't been done very much since 1983. The Eastern League under this playoff format. Only 2 teams before this year. They still have to finish it this year. They haven't done it yet, but only 2 teams have ever swept through the entire postseason. 1 ball, no strike. Step off and a throw over to first base. A dive back in from Tolman. The 1991 Albany Colony team went 6-0 in the playoffs that year. Won the Eastern League. And in 2013, Trenton did it. Beat Richmond in the finals. 1 ball, no strikes to Kramer. The pitch. Swings and misses. Took a rip at a high fastball. Came up empty. It's 1-1. One out, runner at first base for Altoona, leading 4-2 in the bottom of the 7th inning. You know, Espinal, a 25-year-old right-handed pitcher. Second man up for the Thunder tonight. And right as he was coming home, time is called for. Espinal delivers anyway. He was already into the motion. Late timeout granted to Kramer. And Espinal wisely just pitches right through it rather than stopping. Oh, no pitch, although he actually fired one home. No counting against the 1-1 count on Kramer. Dial it up and set up again. Long hold and a throw over to first. And again, a dive back from Tolman. Final pitching line for Will Carter from earlier tonight. 4 2/3 innings. He allowed 6 hits and 4 runs. All of them were earned. All of them with 2 outs in the 5th inning. He walked 3 and he struck out 2. Espinal's allowed 1 hit and struck out 1. An inning and 2/3 scoreless since then. Here's the set. And the 1-1 coming home. Kramer swings and misses. Another high fastball and again couldn't catch up. Count moves to 1-2. Curve in the playoffs this season. Once again, it's their 8th playoff appearance in their first 19 seasons. The only team in the Eastern League who's been to the playoffs each of the last 3 years. 1-2 coming. Up and in. Taken for a ball by Kramer. Count squares to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Curve won the Eastern League, their divisional titles in 2004 in the regular season and 2010 along with this year. And those 3 years stand as the only years the Curve have won the division series. Did it again this season. Another throw to first, and again Tolman dives back in. Head of the tag from Ryan McBroom. For this franchise, heading into their 20th season next year, seeing 144 players have gone on to play baseball in the major leagues and counting. There'll be plenty more added over the next couple of years. But only that one title in 2010 when they beat the Trenton Thunder on their turf out of New Jersey. Here's the 2-2. Runner goes. Pitch is swung on and missed. Throw down to second is off the mark, but under the tag goes Tolman, and he slides in safely. Kramer strikes out, chased a high fastball for the second out. Tolman nearly threw it out. If the throw was on the mark, he was probably going to be out. The shortstop, Estrada, tried to catch it and lunge back all in one motion. The tag missed Tolman, and he slid in safely. He's now in scoring position with 2 outs for Jarek Suter, who worked a bases loaded walk back in the 5th inning. Bobby Mitchell's on his way out to the mound. Manager for the Thunder is coming out. It is the first visit of the inning. He has not yet made the call, and now he will. So Trenton is going to go to the bullpen. Randall Espinal's night comes to a close, not taking any chances with a runner at second and 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th. Espinal coming out. We'll tell you about the new pitcher in just a moment. Jarek Suter steps in with a runner at second and 2 outs. Suter looking to add to this Altoona lead. 2 outs, runner at second, Curve ahead 4-2, and action up behind Schwab in the bullpen right now. Here's the set and the pitch. Taken on the inside corner for a strike. It's 0-1. Schwab, a side-arming pitcher, tough against right-handers. Right-handers hitting just .229 against him for the year. 0-1 against Jarek Suter, who's 1 for 2 tonight. RBI bases loaded walk in the 5th inning. The 0-1 pitch. Ball to strike right down the middle. It's 0-2. Curve looking for insurance. Leading by 2 runs over this tough Trenton team. Leading by 2 games in the ELCS. An 0-2 count. Schwab ready as he looks back to second. And the pitch. Suter swings and misses. Scoreless in Bowie last week. First pitch to Rashad Crawford is downstairs for ball 1. So this is a 3rd time for him pitching into an 8th inning in his professional career. The 21-year-old pitcher from Iowa. A 1-0. That's low and in. 2 balls and no strikes. And the leash probably shortening a bit as he gets later into this start. Showing no signs of slowing down though. 2-0 pitch, swinging a foul away by Crawford. Sends it down the third base side. It's 2-1. Rashad Crawford hitting in the 8th spot. He has an RBI double tonight. 1 for 2. Also grounded to second. 2-1 pitch. Ground ball rolled towards second. Tolman dives. Can't quite get to it. Rolls just past his glove and rolls to right field. Rashad Crawford is on with a leadoff single to start the top of the 8th inning, and Francisco Diaz coming up. And again, Trenton has the tying run at the plate. And throwing is going to start very soon in the bullpen for the Curve.
We mentioned earlier in the broadcast a couple of different times the success the starters have had ERA-wise, but they've really been going deep into games. A lot of guys working into the 7th and 8th innings. Not only in the postseason, but the last 2 or 3 weeks of August as well.
His pitching staff has been so good. Here's the first pitch to Diaz, way up and outside for ball 1. Action slowly moving in the bullpen. Johnny Helwig is up and warming up for the Curve. 6'7" right-hander, can throw it up at 100 miles an hour. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Outside and high, 2 balls and no strikes. And I think Keller is just about out of gas. He's given all he's got in the tank tonight. Jinda Jung taking notice, comes out to the mound and chats with his pitcher. Keller has thrown over 100 pitches, or 100 pitches or more, I should say, 3 times in a game this year, twice for Altoona. And he battled his way through the 2nd inning, held the Thunder to 2 runs that frame. And that's all they've allowed. That's all they've scored to this point. 4 hits given up. 2 balls and no strikes. Keller comes set. Runner at first, nobody out. The pitch. Outside and high, 3-0. Helwig, former major leaguer, warming up in the pen. If he is called on. Keller now at 97 pitches. Number 98 coming up next. The 3-0. Check swing, and it misses right down the middle. No strike call, and it's a 4-pitch walk. The Thunder have runners on first and second with nobody out. And that's going to end the night, it looks like, for Mitch Keller. Excuse me, that's actually Brian Hickerson coming out, the pitching coach for Altoona, taking a bunch of stairs down at the bullpen as Helwig continues to toss. That pitch, maybe it was high. If it was not by much. Diaz is on at first base. And he is going to be replaced by a pinch runner. The Thunder bring out their mega prospect who was just promoted, one of many they've seen this year. Estevan Florial coming in to run over at first base. He represents the tying run, so that's a big runner to bring in. We'll see likely Hoffman coming in to catch after this. And the top of the order coming up against Keller. Jeff Hendricks batting. He's 0 for 3. A single to start the inning by Rashad Crawford. He's on at second. Estevan Florial is at first. There's a lot of speed on the bases for the Thunder. Down by 2 runs. Keller trying to battle his way through a few more pitches and see if he can work around this. 4-2 curve leading top of the 8th inning. Keller set, and he looks back to second base. No throw. No bunt shown either at the plate. Trying to see maybe if he could sneak a look at what Hendricks was going to do. Florial at first base. Crawford at second base. Curve leading by 2 runs in the 8th inning with no outs. Keller's pitch on the way, and a bunt is shown, and it's fouled back. 0-1. So Hendricks, it looks like he's going to try to sacrifice to move these 2 runners up with a very good bat in Tyro Estrada in the on-deck circle right now for the Thunder. With Florial coming in, there is only one position player left on the bench, and it is the backup catcher, Hoffman. Here's the 0-1. No bunt shown this time. It's taken up and outside for a ball.
Hendricks with just 1 sacrifice in his time with Trenton across 32 games.
That was the 100th pitch from Keller. Helwig looks ready down the pin, not throwing anymore. The 1-1. Bunt shown again, and it's fouled off. Wow. 2 tries after taking that last pitch. He tries to put the bunt down again and cannot execute, and the count is 1-2. He didn't show bunt on the spin back to second by Keller to start the at-bat. Then did show bunt, fouled off the first pitch. Took one high and outside without showing, and then this time fouls one off. We'll see if he keeps it on 1-2. Keller's pitch. Instead, he spins the 180 back to second again. Trying to see if he can get a bluff look out of, or trying to see if he can get a look out of Hendricks. on what he might do. He did not square. Likely swinging away at a ball and 2 strikes. Keller set, and he throws. Taken for a called strike 3. He struck him out looking on the outside corner. And that is going to end the night for Mitch Keller. Michael Ryan makes the walk out to the mound to take out Keller, who pitched phenomenally tonight, aside from a couple of bumps in the second inning. And this crowd is going to give him one more standing ovation as Ryan takes the baseball. Mitch Keller walks off the field with his curve leading 4-2. The 21-year-old with another outstanding performance. It now goes to the hands of the veteran right-hander Johnny Hellwig. We'll pause for the pitching change. Come back with a couple of runners on and 1 out in the 8th on the Altoona Curve Radio Network.
His career has moved to the bullpen and some big innings in independent ball at the back end.
First pitch to Tyro Estrada is taken inside for ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. 1-0 count on Estrada. One-0 pitch. Taken up and in, 2-0.
19 saves in independent ball this year for Hellwig. It has been a while since he's pitched. Last pitch September the 2nd against Harrisburg back in the regular season. His first playoff appearance.
2 balls and no strikes. The pitch taken high. 3-0. Hellwig has fallen behind. If there's been a knock, it's been the walks.
And just 1 over his 6 innings for the Curve.
Across his career, it's been the area of struggle. 3-0 pitch is taken inside, ball 4. And the bases are loaded for the Thunder. They have the tying run in scoring position. So, a couple of runners move up. Crawford goes to third, Florial goes to second, and Billy Fleming is the batter coming up after a 4-pitch walk. And action up in the pen behind him is there will be another right-hander throwing. Tate Ciano is now warming up. Fleming in the box, the bases loaded and 1 out. Double play ground ball would be huge right now. Base hit would be a huge blow. First pitch, up and in, not close for ball 1.
Hellwig across his minor league career has gotten a number of ground balls. 1.7 ground outs for every fly ball.
And Brian Hickerson walking out to the mound again. Our pitching coach coming out to talk with Hellwig, who's missed with 5 straight out of the bullpen. And you're getting to the dangerous part of the lineup for the Thunder. Another tight game, and Trenton threatening big time. The bases loaded and 1 out. Tate Ciano throwing in a hurry in the bullpen down the right field line. This is Hellwig's first appearance at the playoffs, and his first appearance on a pitching mound in a live game in a while.
And this is how almost all the games between these two teams in the regular season went. Very close games, 1-run games, 2-run games.
Hellwig trying to relocate the strike zone. Here's the 1-0 pitch. There's a called strike. Comes that one over the plate. It's 1-1. A supportive cheer from the home crowd. Ball and a strike on Billy Fleming. Sitting 375 in the playoffs. Sent down from AAA Scranton last series. Hellwig's 1-1 pitch. Taken high. Maybe high. That call has not been granted tonight. The belt high strike over the plate has not been part of the strike zone for Randy Rosenberg tonight. So the count moves to 2-1. Ciano still tossing in the pen. Bases filled and 1 out. Hellwig ready, and he throws. Check swing, bounce back out in front of the plate, picked up by Jung. He scoops back, touches the plate, and gets the out. And there's out number 2. A check swing roller in front of the plate by Fleming. Jung picks it up, touches home, forces out Crawford, and there are 2 outs now in this top of the 8th inning. Florial goes to third, Estrada up to second base. Fleming is on at first. Fielder's choice 2 unassisted. There's one you don't see very often. And Hellwig gets a visit from the shortstop Pablo Reyes. Takes a walk down the backside of the mound. A couple of moments with the rosin bag. And with the bases loaded and 2 outs, it's Dante Bichette Jr., who's been the only Trenton hitter tonight who's squared anything up. He had a booming double back in the 2nd inning. He struck out twice since then. 2 outs. Bases loaded. Curve leading 4-2 in Game 3 of this Eastern League Championship Series in the top of the 8th inning. Hellwig fires home. Up and in, he almost hit him. Down to the deck, down to the ground goes Bichette to get out of the way of that fastball. Hellwig lost the handle on a couple of pitches so far out of the pen. Former Brewers big league starting pitcher trying to get this one more out to close out the inning. One more runner on base belongs to Mitch Keller. That's Florial at third base. Curve leading by 2 runs. The 1-0 pitch. Breaking ball taken for a strike. Went to the slider and brought it across the inside corner. It's 1-1.
That's a big pitch there. It's been mostly fastballs, but he put something in the back of Bichette's mind.
This crowd hanging on every single pitch. Postseason baseball. The 1-1 coming home. Taken high and outside. And it's 2-1. Hellwig is walking the tightrope. Bases loaded and 2 outs. Top of the 8th. 11 pitches, only 3 for strikes so far. Here's the 2-1. Ground ball bounces short. Reyes plays it. Flips it on to Tolman covering second, and they get out of the jam. Trenton strands the bases loaded in the 8th inning. As we hit the bottom of the 8th in Game 3 of the Eastern League Championship Series, Andrew Schwab back to work. First pitch is taken for a ball down, or strike, excuse me, over the inside corner. It's 0-1 on Jindo. A 4-2 game. Bottom of the 8th, curve in front. Here's the set and the 0-1 pitch. Swinging a ground ball, rolled over to second. Avelino has it. Throws on to first and gets the out. 1 away. Andrew Schwab back out for another inning for the Thunder. He got a strikeout to strain a runner at second last inning. Wyatt Matheson is next. 0 for 1 tonight. Excuse me, 0 for 2 with a walk, a strikeout, and a flyout. 1 out, base is empty. Out of the stretch works Schwab. Action in the bullpen for both teams. Tate Sino warming in the curve pen. Here's the pitch to Matheson. Outside for a ball, 1-0. There's a left-hander throwing in the Trenton bullpen.
So much pressure on Trenton down by 2. They can ill afford to get in any sort of trouble here this inning.
1-0 pitch, waved that and missed. It's 1-1. Schwab has been really tough against Altoona. One pitch coming. Swinging a liner foul out of play down the right side. Count as a ball in 2 strikes. Bottom of the 8th, curve defensively are 3 outs away from their second Eastern League championship. Last chance to add some insurance runs for Tate Sino, who's warming in the pen right now. A ball in 2 strikes from Wyatt. The pitch. Swings and pops it up. Foul ground on the first base side. Ryan McBroom ranging over towards the wall, and that'll get into the seats about 6 rows back. Count stays 1-2 on Matheson. Casey Houston is on deck. He has not hit yet tonight. Came in as a defensive replacement a couple of innings ago.
Tonight's attendance is 3,656. 3656.
1 ball and 2 strikes on Wyatt Matheson. Andrew Schwab, the right-hander facing him. Might be his last batter of the night, the 1-2. Check swing taken on a slider outside, 2-2. That sidearm motion by Schwab has fooled a lot of hitters this year. We've seen it burn the curve a few times. 2-2 pitch. Swinging a foul back, fought off nicely by Matheson, who spoils it back off the screen. Count stays 2 balls and 2 strikes. Wyatt fighting off pitches and staying alive. 2-2. The kick and the pitch. Ground ball rolled towards short. Scooting to his right and playing goes Estrada. Tosses across to first for the second out. 2 gone, the bottom of the 8th. Casey Houston coming up to bat for the first time. Houston will bat with 2 outs. The base is empty, getting his first swings of this game, looking for his first hit of the postseason. A late addition to this Curve roster. Came up from High Bradenton late in the year. First pitch misses down and outside for him. It's 1-0. He came up along with Mitchell Tolman after Bradenton season had ended. They were both expecting to be going home for the year. And instead, chance to continue on in the postseason with Altoona. Pitch misses outside. It's 2-0. And they both immediately contributed. Tolman had that walk-off homer. Houston had a big 2-run triple in his first Curve game. 2 balls and no strikes. The pitch fouled away. Sends it down off the screen down the third base side, 2-1. Altoona leading Trenton 4-2. And the bottom half of the 8th inning with 2 outs and the base is empty. Tiziano waiting for his chance to sprint out of the bullpen and try to close it down. The Curve looking to add on to this lead. Ground ball bounced towards short, backhanded and off the glove of Estrada. It rolls out to left field and reaching base. Casey Houston is on with 2 outs. Michael Suki coming up. They will give Houston a single. Tough play for Estrada. The ball was smoked.
I think that might have hit his shin and ricocheted away. I'm not sure he even got the leather to it. He's walking a bit gingerly now, and the Thunder don't have anyone left on their bench.
Yeah, Shane Othman came in defensively this inning to catch. So no one left for the position players for Trent. He appears to be fine. He's walking around now. Bobby Mitchell is coming out to the mound and might be making the call of the pen with the runner on. Claps his hands twice, walks up the top of the hill. He has not made the call yet. He talks with Andrew Schwab and the entire infield for the Thunder joining as well. Michael Sugi, the right-handed batter on deck. There's now a right-hander throwing in the pen for the Thunder. And they are going to make the call after all that. It was a long chat. Maybe a little bit of extra time being bought by Bobby Mitchell to get the pitcher loose. Out goes Andrew Schwab. Trenton going to the bullpen in the 8th inning. 2 outs, or excuse me, a 4-2 lead with 2 outs. First pitch misses down low for ball 1. 2-run lead it is in the 8th inning. I'm Trey Wilson alongside Nate Bowen. Our producer tonight is Doug Herendeen. Our pre- and post-game host is Max Gunn. Game 3 of the Eastern League Championship Series. The Curve leading by 2 runs over the Thunder. Trying to sweep through the entire playoffs. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Swinging a ground ball, base, oh no, foul, just foul down the third base side.
It might be the hardest hit ball off the bat of Suki tonight. He's already got 2 singles.
Two of the 7 hits in the game for the Curve. He's the only player with multiple hits tonight. It's been a good bat in his playoffs for Altoona, hitting .364 with a homer, and he's driven in 3 runs. Good speed with Houston at first. A step off and throw over by Carroll. Houston dives back in. And they're going to call a balk on Carroll. Umpiring crew said that Carroll balked, so that will move Houston up to second base. And an extremely important insurance run is now in scoring position with 2 outs for Suki. 4-2, Curve trying to make it a 3-run game as Suki can get a base hit. Carroll looks back at second as he sets. And the pitch. Suki checks his swing as he takes a breaker in the dirt. 2-1. Michael Suki from Bradenton, Florida, side of the Pirates minor league operations at Pirate City. Their high A team, the Marauders, who won the Florida State League Championship last year, also the spring training home for the Pirates. First year at Double-A, the 2-1. Taken for a strike around the inside corner. It's 2-2. Very vocal crowd all night tonight. They have been in it, right with us. Wanting to see a celebration. Two balls and two strikes on Suki. Carroll a peek at second in the pitch. Suki checks his swing as he takes high and inside. The count's full, 3-2. Fastball came up and in. Suki moved the hands just a bit, but was able to hold him back. Full count, 3-2. All important insurance run with Casey Houston leading off at second base. Here's the payoff from Carroll. Suki swings and misses, and he chased up high. Goes down on strikes to end the 8th. The Louisiana native comes in to take over for the top of the 9th. Ryan McBroom, who's got a hit tonight, 1 for 2, takes the first pitch for a called strike. The Curve are 3 outs away from picking up their second Eastern League championship and doing it for the first time in front of their hometown fans. Here's the windup in the 0-1 pitch. Swinging a fly ball, fouled away. It's 0-2. This town, a sports fan base that is used to winners. The Steelers, the Penguins, the Pirates, Penn State, looking for a second title out of their hometown Curve, though. The 0-2. Check swing taken, belt high, outside corner, called ball 1.
Nobody's gotten that pitch all night. A deep sigh of relief from McBroom at home plate.
It's not been a strike all night, been a consistent call. 1-2. Check swing in the dirt. Did he go? Appeal to first, said he did not. Rich Grasso said he didn't go around. It's 2-2. Ciano tried the breaking ball in the dirt. Tate Ciano has been fantastic this season. He's worked the 1 scoreless inning in the playoffs. He has converted 8 consecutive save opportunities. The 2-2. Popped foul, out of play by McBroom. Ciano pitched 47 games in the regular season. He had the ERA under 2 for most of the year. A few runs against him late in the season ticked it back up over 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes on McBroom. The pitch, swing and a miss. McBroom is down on strikes for out number 1. 1 out in the 9th inning, and Abiatal Avelino standing in for the Thunder. Avelino is 0 for 2 tonight. He's got a sac bunt, a pop out to second, and a ground out to first. 1 out, the base is empty. 4-2 Curve lead in the 9th. Ciano over the head, wind up in the pitch, swinging a line drive, foul down the right field side, and it's 0-1. Tate Ciano trying to close down this championship series. The 0-1 pitch, fouled back. It's 0-2. Coming right at him with a couple of fastballs, and he's way out in front. No balls and 2 strikes. Ciano, a 39th round draft pick in 2015 at a Southeastern Louisiana University. Many of the key contributors from this Curve team this year have been guys who were drafted well after the 30th round. Here's his 0-2 pitch to Avelino. Breaking ball stays inside, and it's 1-2. Ciano looking as calm and cool them out as could be right now. The 1-2 pitch, check swing, he went around, strike 3, and he strikes out Avelino for out number 2. The Curve are an out away from their second Eastern League title. Zach Zahner coming up to the plate. The crowd at P&G Field on its feet, nobody sitting down. 2 outs, the base is empty, Curve ahead 4-2 in the top of the 9th inning. Tate Ciano trying to finish this thing off. The first pitch, swing and a miss, 0-1. 2 outs. Bases are empty. Curve ahead by 2. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Now it's 0-2. The Trenton Thunder are down to their final strike. Tate Siena with a no-ball, 2-strike count on Zach Zahner. Over the head with the windup. The 0-2 pitch, swinging a foul back. And the count stays, no balls and 2 strikes. Zahner keeps the Thunder season alive. This Trenton team won 92 games in 140 game schedule this year. The Curve, the Western Division champions on the other side, looking to sweep the Thunder and sweep their way through this 2017 postseason. 0-2 pitch is swung on and skied, foul down the left field side. And the count stays 0-2, and again a quick hush of the home crowd here at P&G Field. Now they'll get back to their feet. Still no balls and 2 strikes on Zach Zahner. 4-2 Curve, top of the 9th inning, bases empty and 2 outs. Here's the 0-2 from Ciano. Swing and a miss, he struck him out. And the Altoona Curve are the 2017 Eastern League champions. They sweep their way through the entire postseason. They take down the Trenton Thunder and lock up their 2nd Eastern League title. Tate Siano mobbed, the team dancing in front of the mound. A 4-2 final score in Game 3 of the Eastern League Championship Series. And the Curve finished the job. Michael Ryan wins a championship for the 2nd straight year. Won last year with the Marauders, and they get one this year in Altoona. And an incredible season comes to a close with the title. They do it in front of the hometown fans. This crowd showed up tonight, and from the first pitch on, the atmosphere was electric, and they are rewarded getting to see their hometown team finish the job on their home field.